What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Storm Sessions podcast. My name is Danny Enriquez, and I am here, one of the rising young defensive linemen for your Miami Hurricanes, Armondo Blount. Armando, how we doing?
Good. How you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. So, first year's done. Camp, rocking and rolling. I know your body's banged up, but that's just normal. It's just how you feeling overall after having a year in the books here in Miami?
I'm just excited. I feel way better. I feel that I was prepared, learned more from the older guys last year, so feeling good.
Yeah, so let's go all the way back, man. You're a local guy, right? South Florida. What was it like just growing up Broward County with your family?
The crazy thing, I got into football because all the kids at school played football. I wasn't never too much of grew up in a football household. It was like all the boys at school playing football when we go to recess. So I was like, I want to play football. And then that's how I got into football in the first place, right there. And growing up in South Florida, the best times down here, I feel like it was the best. I played outside a lot as a kid with me, my brother, my cousins. So I was an outside kid a lot.
It's funny you say that you weren't into football like that because obviously your dad, football family, right? He played. He's kin to Benny Blades and Brian Blades, who Miami fans know as kind of legends. Your mom ran track.
Yeah,
she'll tell you she was one of the fastest girls down here. So you have a lot of very good stock. And from what I understand, her side, there are a lot of valedictorians and stuff. So it's funny hearing kind of the background from a genetic side and all that, but then seeing you kind of fall into what you are now. We'll get to that part of the story. But young kid, you mentioned starting to play football. What was it about the game that you liked that got you into it?
That football is the only place that I can hit people and do things to people that you can't do in the regular world. You can actually hit someone in the mouth and knock someone to the ground. You can't do that in school. So it's football, I just felt the aggression part was what got me into football, the active hands-on. I always was like a D-line, O-lineman. So that's what got me into football.
And the studying aspect of the football, from what I understand, a lot of kids, they play and then they're done. But I heard a story where you were calling one of your youth football coaches late night pass when you're supposed to be on the phone, kind of hiding. Instead of doing something bad with the phone, you're calling your coach trying to kind of work on some plays when your mom catches you. So what made you want to call a football coach in the middle? That's not normal stuff.
Just to get better, I always felt that it was always room to improve. I never was the type of guy that I felt like I was better than everyone. I always felt that I had to work to get where I was at. So just the dedication to get better, that's what it was. Just trying to get better, that's what it was.
And then in terms of at school, I heard, like you said, you had that aggression, kind of got a little bit in some fights. Teacher at one point told you, hey, you don't think you're going to amount to nothing. What was that like? Knowing what was inside of you and kind of hearing somebody doubt you and suggest you're on the wrong path?
Well, I couldn't do nothing but just try to prove her wrong. Started taking school seriously, started trying my best, and the rest was history. I just started trying my best, and it made me it flipped the switch in because it was you can either do one thing with your life or you can try to do the better part. And I never was a person to give up, so I just wanted to give it my all in anything I did, and I just started trying my hardest in school too.
Flip the switch is probably an understatement considering you ended up valedictorian, but we'll talk about all that. But just, once you're playing now, obviously, like we say, you come from a family of athletes, right? But as you're playing, when did you kind of sense hey, man, I'm not just playing this to play, I'm pretty good?
I never seen the vision for myself. I just always was a giving my all type of person. I never seen the vision of going D1 or anything. I was just living in the moment, trying my hardest for when it was there. And when I was 11 or 12, I was 12, I had got injured. And then my season had ended. I came back and got injured again. And I was going to be done with football and going into my 13th year. A coach named Coach Tate, he told me I can play high school in the 8th grade. So I'm bro, I just got hurt. I don't know if I want to play. Then I'm going to play with older guys. And he was just come give it a chance. If you don't like it, then you don't like it, but give it a chance. And when I went out in the 8th grade, I just gave them all, always, and try to get better. I always work hard, start trying to hang with the older guys, working out wise. And I got my first offer in the 8th grade. I didn't even know what an offer was when I got the offer. Coach Tate just said, like, just Mondo, be who you are and give it your all. And that's all. That's like what I always been doing.
And your mom at that time was running the Fort Lauderdale Track Club, right? So you're a multi-sport kid. You were doing track as well at that age. What was it like being on the track? And I know you had a lot of success throwing.
Uh, it was funny because my mom made me do track so I won't be having too much free time from football. Because when football season done, you got like the whole time in like, wait, were you underage to do anything? So she put me in track. And I used to run with the kids, 400, 100, everything. And she was like, go try to throw the shot put. I went over. I ain't had a good technique or nothing, but they was like, I was good. So I just started throwing. And down here, I used to win everything. So that's what started me off with track.
I know your mom obviously investing in the track side of things, your dad investing on the football side, obviously everybody working on you as a person and your academics. What was the impact that your parents had on you just to make you go on the right side of the journey?
Just being great role models, teaching me respect, how to handle myself as a man and not carry on. That's what my parents like was big on growing up. Respect and standing up for what you believe in and doing your best in things, like not being a pushover or giving up. So that plays a long part in when you trying to do something big in anything. Like respect goes a long way and hard work and dedication. And that's what it was really about. So anything I try to do, they just taught me like, give it your all. Don't do it for nothing. My mom, when I was doing shot put, she was always telling me, boy, you weak. Go do some push-ups. Like, I'm like, all right. So then I started doing push-ups and I started getting better.
You know, I'm thinking, putting myself in your shoes, if I was in 8th grade and I got a college scholarship offer for sports, I'd be like, all right, what's the minimum GPA I got to get? And I'll get there. But you went the opposite way. I mean, you were getting, beat past the 4.0. So mindset wise, what made you say, yeah, look, I got my college path here. I can do the minimum on the academic side, but I'm going to go a step further.
I started my high school classes my 7th grade year. So I was already doing good in classes and stuff because once I started trying in school, I realized that I was actually like smart enough to get the work done. I started making straight A's, and by the time I was in the 8th grade, I already had like a 4.5. So I never even had a grade issue thing, like to qualify for anything. I never like thought about grade in school wise because I always had good grades. So
your mom was saying that like you're the type of kid that you get into something, you want to research it. Like it's like just a random topic. It could be like whatever it is. It gets your brain going and you're out there Googling, reading all this stuff, trying to learn about whatever the topic is. What is it that you like about not just succeeding and getting A's and having that excellence aspect, but just actually learning and finding out about new things?
I'm just a weird person. Like, if I'm interested in something, I want to find out everything about it. I don't know what made me do it, but if I like animals, I'll watch Animal Planets and just research about an animal all day if I'm interested in it. So I just find joy in actually learning about stuff and knowing what I'm watching and just being like actually learning about what I'm watching. Yeah.
What's one specific topic that's got you kind of going on a wormhole where you're digging out information and you're trying to find stuff out?
Let me think. I haven't been too interested in anything right now because it's been fall camp. I just been locked into
one track mind.
Yeah, I've only been locked into fall camp, so my mind haven't been expanding on anything right now. It's just been football and stuff.
Gotcha. So you're at Dillard, right? Right away, you're pretty much producing and putting your name out there as a prospect. What was it like being? How old were you at the time? Probably like 14 when you're already blowing up. Like, what was it like? You're trying to make friends, meet girls, whatever, just be a normal high school kid. And like people are already putting these expectations on you at that young age.
I was a standoff person. I always stood to myself. So I had a few friends here and there, but I stay around the football team. And on my off time, I always be home. I never used to go out and stuff all the time. So I was always dedicated to getting better in football, so I ain't really had too much time to drift off and do other things or have friends outside of sports and things. Like, I probably only have 2 friends that was outside of sports, and that's because we had classes. But Friend-wise, I wasn't growing up a popular kid, so when you start getting people that's knowing you and stuff, it's kind of like weird because they just know me because of football. They don't know who I really am, so it's just I kind of kept to myself a lot. But once I started opening up, I started hanging around people, but still, it's only mainly athletes.
Gotcha. Then recruiting process for you really started early. I mean, when did it? People don't know you reclassified, right? You were going to be class of 2025, right? And you were classified to 24.
Yeah.
So when did that process start? Where you're thinking like, hey man, I can, because of my academics being so far advanced and your football really also being advanced, that I can start the clock early. When did that thought process start in your head?
The same year I reclassified because people always told me that I was gonna have the option because I already started and I was almost done with high school classes by like 9th, 10th grade. So it was always an option, but I never really too much thought of the option. I always said, when the time come, I'll make my decision. And then when the time had came, I felt that I got what I needed out of high school and I wanted to go like advance and get better that extra year. So I just reclassified and I already had all the requirements. So it wasn't any issue when it came to that.
And not many people can reclassify and still be a 5-star. So obviously the big schools were after you. You commit to Miami, then to Florida State, then back to Miami. So a little bit of a process there. What was that like, just going through it? Everybody telling you what you want to hear, and all the things that go with being a 5-star recruit in 2024 when you were being recruited.
Only to one official visit. So when it came down to the time, it was Miami. I really ain't do too much at the end because I'm a closed-in person. So when it came to the recruiting process, I didn't know how to like socialize with coaches too much because I just wanted to get better. I never felt like I was good enough. I always just wanted to get better in what I was doing. So I always been locked into like, okay, I'm gonna stay down here this weekend and work out. I don't want to go on a visit because I got to get better if I'm gonna go to college. I'm only in the 10th, 9th grade. I got 2 more years of high school. I got to get better. So my mindset wasn't too much on the colleges. So when the time came down, I really liked Miami, and that was the main option for me at the time.
This fall, the Canes are taking over paradise again. Canes Weekend of the Bahamas returns October 31st to November 2nd, right here in the heart of Nassau. Choose your vibe, the bold, laid-back energy of the Point Margaritaville Beach Resort, or the timeless charm of British colonial Nassau. 2 beachfront escapes, 1 legendary weekend. Enjoy special rates starting at just $159 per night. Plus, big-time fan energy, exclusive events, Hurricanes legends, and an unforgettable island-style watch party. Lock it in now at Bahamas.com/Canes Weekend. Terms and conditions apply. I know one person that was definitely striving to build that relationship was Coach Cristobal. From what I understand, and this checks out when I know how he gets down, is he was texting you pretty much every single day. What was it like, someone who, just talking to you, for being someone who's excelled so much, you're very humble. You kind of like, you don't expect people to necessarily look at you that way, even though you've been doing it. So when a coach like that's texting you every single day, the head coach, not even like an assistant or anything like that, what was that like?
It made me have way more respect. And like Cristobal, that's Coach Cristobal. That's my guy. He like really cared for his athletes. He even cared for me before then. Like he wanted the best for me. He always checked to see how you was doing. And even that is not about football. He'll check on you outside of football. So that's what I really respected. And Coach, I could talk to him if it was about something deep too, because Coach would always be there. And he be texting every day. I'll be happy when I see the texts. When I was in high school, I would text him, "What's good, Coach? Good morning." Real quick.
Probably pretty early to text, I'm guessing.
Yeah, and he get up and work out every morning. So I'd be like, "Coach, geeked up in the morning already working out." He be making me turn because he like, he'll text me, he'll be like, "I already beat you today working out." I'm like, "Man, I'm finna do a workout right now, Coach."
Man, so obviously ended up at the University of Miami, making that decision. What did it feel like when you finally got that process over with and you're a Miami Hurricane?
It felt great. The older guys last year took me in real quick. I didn't even feel like I was a younger guy because everyone was like, bro, you only 16, you only 16. But I kind of forgot that at the time because I just got in. I got to just giving it my all, working, and just keeping my head down and trying my best. So it really wasn't too much of a hard transition. I loved it, and I was close to home. It's a lot of advantages that's to staying home. I'm close to home. I get to stay in the weather. It's a lot.
So you were like, how old were you last season? We're watching the season, right? And what you played last year, you were on the field on the defense, and we saw, Cam Ward, everything that happened. You were like, what, 17 during that whole season?
Yeah, I was 17.
Incredible. At any point were you like, man, I'm out here, just doing all this, working so hard. I could be a kid just kind of living my senior year. Did that cross your mind at any point? Or were you just like, man, I'm on ESPN, I'm living this life?
Yeah, I was like, I'm here. I'm ready to do it. But I really ain't looked too forward to having a regular senior year. I ain't wanted to just be a regular kid living a regular senior year. It's way more fun when you going out of town every 2 weeks or so playing a team. You walk out, it's a whole bunch of rivals. They yelling. Like, that's a good feeling. Than to be at home being a regular high school student.
Well, listen, I've seen you on the field, and like usually when there's a kid that's got 4.0, but you didn't even have a 4.0. What do you have, like a 4.5?
Yeah.
So, and I should have mentioned earlier, you were the valedictorian when you did, even though you enrolled early, when you finished, you were the valedictorian. But a lot of kids that had that kind of academic background, they say, okay, this kid's going to be soft. He's not going to have that dog. I'd rather have a kid that doesn't have that academic background because they're going to be more aggressive. But having seen you play, like, not only are you as aggressive as anybody else, you might be probably one of the most aggressive, physical, just nasty players on the field. What allows you to have both sides of that, where you can lock in on the classroom and all that and be serious and be a good dude that people approach, but then when it's football time, like, you're extra mean?
Football lets you take out your aggression so you can function regular when it's time for school. That's what I can say. You get it out in football, you can go to school and change and be regular. And football, well, you get everything out. It's just knowing a place and time for everything. My mom always told me it's a place and time for everything. So if it's football and it's time to be aggressive, then it's time to be aggressive. But outside of football, if it's time to be respectful and polite, then that's what it have to be.
Now, you're a local kid, so people assume you go to Miami, it's like everything that you're used to. But really, from going from Fort Lauderdale, from Broward to Coral Gables, it's a different atmosphere, it's a different environment, it's college. So what's, just from the college side and the school side, what's it been like being a student at the University of Miami?
It's great. We have the professors here. It's great. I had a professor, Miss Mann. She made me look at my literature way different. And she had us write a story about our lives, about our literacy. And I started from elementary going up, and just looking back, reading my essay, it made me look at everything way different because I came a long way. I learned a lot. I advanced a lot. And I feel that the professors here actually care about their job and like care about the students. It's less students in classes. You get to ask questions. I never had this much times that I was raising my hand to read and stuff, because reading always was my worst part in school, and I just try to venture off in the back, not participate. But being at Miami, it's like it's more of a safe place in class. You get to ask questions and actually learn, and teachers that'll help. So that's what I like about Miami.
I know you have an interest in psychology. I got to shout out the psychology department. My wife, Dr. Leon, shout out to the psychology department, what you guys do. What is it about psychology that interests you?
Trying to like better understand why people do things, because like you can't judge, and I just want to have a perspective on everything and understand people personalities and interaction between people and what would make a person do certain things, and just understand more so I can not judge but handle the situation with certain things, and you know how to treat people better because you can understand where people coming from more.
So people listen to this, they're like, man, this guy's had it easy. He's been good at everything. That's pretty easy. But we know that the work and the adversity that you have to deal with, sometimes you probably wake up and you don't feel like working out early or whatever it is. When you're facing that adversity, what makes you push through and say like, all right, I know I don't feel like I'm going to work out today, but I'm going to go do it?
Before I came to college, it was always just get it done. I came to college, Coach Cristobal, he always tell me, you got to be a man about certain situations and handle it. Even when you don't feel like being in the building, you got to have a positive attitude and leave the problems at home and deal with them at home and approach it with a better attitude and just give it your all. So what keep me going is just knowing that it'll get better if you give it your all. It's going to get better. It's not going to always be worse or bad at the time, if it may seem like that.
So fast forward here, 20 years, whatever it is, you already had a great NFL career, done with football. Where's Armondo Blount?
Probably somewhere in the country farming, building my house, doing what I want to do. I'm going to have a house in the city and a house in the country. And I ain't going to say I'm going to live isolated, but I want to have me like a big old farm and like just live off the land, live natural, be healthy, and do stuff for my kids and live like a peaceful life.
And what is it that intrigues you about that life? Because you grew up in Fort Lauderdale. You're a city kid as far as upbringing. What is it about that kind of quiet country life that appeals to you?
I've been in the city my whole life. When it's time, I want to be able to like just live natural and live off the land, because when you stay in the city, it's just so much negative things. Like even when it comes down to food, you slowly killing yourself with the chemicals and stuff that we eat. And so I just want to be able to like live the way I want to live and live natural off the land. So that's what I want to do after football. But that's going to be me on my own time.
I know one thing that you have interest in outdoors wise is fishing. Like a lot of players, man, a lot of love for fishing in South Florida, obviously. What is it about fishing that kind of makes you at peace and makes you feel good?
It's the tug. When you get the tug, that's the most exciting part about fishing. But the crazy part is I'm allergic to seafood. I'm allergic to fish. And that's how, I don't even know how I got into fishing. But when I was about 11, I was at my grandma's house with my brother. We fishing, and he taught me. He put a bread on the hook. We caught some like snappers in the back. And ever since then, when I got that first pull and I seen the fish reeled in, I was like, I always wanted to go fishing. And then my love for fishing just grew more and more.
Are you more in the saltwater, catching the snapper and all that, the peacock bass? I know you can go both ways out here in Florida.
Yeah, the freshwater the most, because like you go to the lakes or whatever, you can catch you a big peacock. The peacock's the best fish I like catching because they give you like a little fight.
Oh yeah.
The peacocks, yeah. I went sea fishing one time. It was my first time. It was like a month or two ago, and we caught some jacks. And
those are strong. Those jacks are strong.
Yeah, and that was my first time. That was fun, but the boat, how you so tired after. Like, we was on a boat for probably 4 to 5 hours. So I'll probably say I like freshwater better, because you can just drive in, pull up, look under a tree or something, because you got to find the shade areas or the bushes, throw your bait down there, and catch you a fish. Way better like that.
Gotcha. So I don't think I can spoil what the ad is. It'll come out when it comes out, but I know you did a little acting, right? So what was that process like you're still, 18 still, right?
Yes.
And you're doing commercials already and stuff like that. What was that like, putting away the football hat, the student hat, and putting on the acting hat, being an actor for a day? What was that like?
So much fun. I enjoyed it a lot. I was just taking it in every step of the way, because as a kid, sometimes I'd be in the room acting out a movie. I'd be like, when I grow up, I'll be an actor. I'll be an actor if I had to. But being an actor for a day was kind of fun. Well, that's how I was looking at it, even though it was an ad. I felt like we was acting for a day.
What's your favorite movie?
Lion King. Hands down, the Lion King.
The cartoon or the old one or the new one? No,
the cartoon, the old one. Watching it growing up, it was just so like interesting, and I can watch it still to this day, like over and over. Certain movies you can't watch over, but The Lion King, I can watch that.
I mean, I got kids now and I watch it with them, and the lesson is still, it's not just, a kids movie. There's like deep lessons in that thing.
Yeah. Yeah. The Lion King, I just like it. I don't know. I just like it.
So we got a lot of fan questions here for you. So this question is from G Cruz, and I know your grandfather, who's a pastor, right? He's been close to you. What's he meant to your life, and how has faith overall just impacted your life?
My grandfather, he have a church. We grew up going to his church. Just my love for God and praising God. My faith is in God. It's just, that's first. That's always been first. It never been anything over it. It's just, I grew up going to church, having faith in God. And my granddad, he played a part because he was a pastor. So we was going to his church, and he always tell you, thank God. And you know how pastors is. They tell you stuff here and there. So that was a big part of it.
Ethan wants to know, what made you choose the University of Miami? Obviously, you mentioned you only took one official visit. You had every school in the country trying to get you. What was about UM that appealed to you?
Coach Cristobal and Coach Jason Taylor. I had trust in them, and then I had trust in the program that I believe what they was telling me, and that's what made me come to Miami, my trust in them.
The defensive line, your brothers, the people that are there in the room with you, what's a word or a phrase that you would use just to describe that group?
Relentless. Relentless. We gonna get it no matter what. That's what I can say. Everybody wanted in that D-line room. Everybody. That's what I like.
Question from Tommy. What uniform combo is your favorite for the Canes?
You know the all black when they had the long green?
Yeah.
I never got to wear it. I liked that one. That was my favorite. Or the all black we had this year with the orange, I think. Yeah. That was my favorite one for last year. Maybe.
Okay, so you like the newer style ones.
Yeah.
We'll see what they cook up for you here. I'm sure they'll keep it creative. Question about your pregame routine. What food are you eating? What music listening to?
Food, probably eat some pasta. Music, probably play some Major 9 on the headphones, chill, and then go out, walk around the field, just lock in, go in the locker room, stretch a little bit. It's not too much pregame, just, locked in, headphones on, and staying quiet.
Major 9, for those who don't know, Chad Thomas, former defensive lineman for the University of Miami. Do you have a relationship with him? Do you ever talk to him?
I haven't talked to him. I follow him. He followed me back. My cousin went to school with him. Like, my older cousin went to school with him, and he played football with him. But I grew up listening to him, and him coming to Miami, I always felt like that was cool growing up because he always talked about it in his songs and stuff. I was like, man, I'll go to Miami, bro. He liked that. So, you feel me? Yeah.
Any musical side to you? I know you got all those other skills, or you stick to the books and the football?
Nah, just football.
And acting, I should say, too.
Yeah, I'm an actor. I'm an actor, too.
So now that you've done it, right, you've played for University of Miami. Obviously, you got a lot of football to play, but you've had that experience, which really very few, I can't think of many 17-year-olds have had. I mean, what was that feeling to wear the uniform, to do all the things that you did last year, and just go through that experience now that you've actually done it for a year? What was that feeling like?
It just felt great. All thanks to God. It felt great because not too much people get to be in this position. And it's a dream to go D1 in any school. Like, to be able to go to school and get a scholarship and get a free education, that means a lot. So when I put a U on every time, I respect the U and I love it. So it's like every time you put a jersey on, you walk out, it's a great feeling. Like, it's so much joy you can't even describe it. It's just, you take it in, you get your helmet ready, you buckle up your chin strap, and it's time to go. Like, it's like, I'm getting ready right now thinking about it. It's like just such a excitement feeling that you get when it's time to go and play. That's what I get from it.
You get the fans fired up too. Armando, man, appreciate you joining us. Remember to like and subscribe to Storm Sessions, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Canes All Access, Spotify, and support these great student athletes here during their season. Armando, appreciate you.
Thank you.